Morning, everyone. Meteorologist Bill Rentschler in the 1011 Now streaming studio. Hope everyone is having a nice Thursday morning. Again, not a bad start to the day out there. Pretty mild as we start our Thursday. As we saw some warmer weather yesterday, going to see even warmer weather today, and that's going to continue into Friday. But then we are watching another round of Arctic air that is going to settle into the region as we head into the upcoming weekend. So temperatures are really going to be the big story as we head over the next several days, as we're really still waiting on any meaningful chances for moisture as we head over the course of the next week. But as we dive in, today is Thursday, and that means we're going to start off with the latest drought monitor. Excuse me. As that was released early this morning. This is a look at the drought conditions we had across the state last week. Again, you can see almost the entire state covered by some sort of drought. Again, save for a sliver there in the southwestern corner of the state. Again, the worst of it is across kind of the northern tier of the state and then out into northwestern Nebraska, where we have some extreme drought across the panhandle into parts of Cherry County. That severe drought stretches all the way into the northeastern corner of the state, up near Norfolk and Columbus. Lincoln and southeastern, south central Nebraska under areas of moderate drought have been for some time now. Again, we generally don't see a whole lot of movement in the drought monitor through the winter months, as we just don't really average that much in the way of any moisture through the winter months. I believe for December, January, and February, it's less than 3 inches of liquid precipitation through those 3 months. So again, we generally don't see a whole lot of movement, but we did see, again, some conditions degrade with the latest drought monitor that was released. Again, that area was across the southwestern corner of the state, areas from North Platte down towards McCook, going from abnormally dry conditions to moderate drought conditions. So again, continue to see things get just a little bit worse for us here in Nebraska. Again, the way the winter has gone with the lack of snowfall so far, not that much of a surprise. Again, I know we don't average very much in the way of any moisture through the winter months, but we really had very little, even compared to what we should over the last 6 to 8 weeks. So again, one category worse there in the southwestern corner of the state. So if you look at the drought status over time, over the course of the last year, again, you can see from January of last year through about the middle of the summer, we were doing okay. Again, seeing some steady improvements, but again, past mid-July, things have just kind of gotten worse. We've plateaued a little bit over the last several weeks, last several months, again through the fall and into early January. But again, right now have almost the entire state under some sort of drought conditions. Just about 2.5% of the state remains drought-free. Again, no exceptional drought, so that is good news. That is the worst category of drought, but we have a little over 8% of the state under extreme drought there in the northwestern corner of the state. The biggest chunk of the state in moderate drought conditions, almost 43%, almost 38% of the state under severe drought conditions. Nationally, again, the three areas of concern, again, going to be across south and southwest Texas. Again, that area in southwest Texas has exceptional drought, by far and away the largest sort of swath of exceptional drought across the United States. High plains across parts of the Dakotas, Wyoming, Montana, again, a lot of areas of severe to extreme drought, and then across the desert southwest, again, areas of severe to extreme drought in those areas as well continue to kind of worsen. If you look at the drought status over time nationally, again, you can actually see we have seen some improvements over the last several weeks, last several months, going back to mid-October. I think I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Oh, man. But things have gotten a little bit better for us over the past few weeks and months. Right now, about almost 40% of the country is drought-free right now. At this time, just 0.5% under any sort of exceptional drought. Lincoln Weather Almanac numbers from yesterday, 42, again, so a nice improvement there for a high temperature, a few degrees above average. 13, the low was close to where we should be for this time of year. And again, no moisture yesterday, so still stuck at 1 inch of snow so far for the season, and just 0.09 of an inch of liquid precipitation at the Lincoln Airport so far this month. Now 9.5 inches, or almost 9.5 inches below normal in terms of our snowfall for the season, and again continues to be one of the least snowiest seasons that we've ever seen. Again, from October 1st through today's date, January 16th, put that 1 inch of snow, second least snowiest season on record. Again, still trailing in the 1922-1923 season when there was only 0.9 of an inch through today's date. That season finished with 18.5 inches of snow. Again, we averaged 26 inches of snow for the entire season. So again, I mentioned it it yesterday, but February on average is our snowiest month of the year here in Lincoln. So there is still time to add to these totals. But again, we really got to see that pattern change. And right now it is just not in the cards for us. Checking out your weather headlines. Again, I mentioned it, but today is going to be the warmest day over the course of the next week, and that mild weather will continue into the day on Friday. And then the Arctic air returns. So again, enjoy today, enjoy tomorrow, because I don't think there'll be a lot of folks necessarily going outside. I think Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or even into Tuesday of next week as that Arctic air settles into the region. Low temperatures this morning, awfully mild. The low of 34 in Lincoln. Again, that's just a degree away from what our normal high is for the day today. So again, very mild, especially for the eastern half of the state where we saw upper 20s and low 30s. A little bit colder as you head across western Nebraska early this morning. Tempest weather stations here in Lincoln. Again, low temperatures this morning, generally in the low to mid 30s. So again, that 34 at the airport certainly checks out compared to the other weather stations around town. Right now, if you look at sky views from across the state, there's a few clouds across northern Nebraska, but we're generally looking at blue sky and sunny skies, clear skies across the state, and I think that'll be the case for most of the day today. Right now in the capital city, already 37 degrees at the airport, 36 here in Midtown Lincoln. Light northwest wind does make it feel just a touch cooler. Feels like temperature right now currently sitting at 30 degrees. Temperatures on the Tempest weather stations, again across town, warming up a few degrees from those lows early this morning, mid to upper 30s. Again, I think we could see... I think we could make a run at 50 degrees today here in the capital city, so it's going to be a pretty mild day. Temperatures across the rest of the state to start our day about 10 minutes past the top of the hour, ranging anywhere from the low 20s in the Panhandle into the middle 30s across the eastern sections of the state right now. Lincoln, again, is the warm spot. 36 in Omaha, 35 in Tacoma, 34 in Norfolk, 32 in Grand Island, currently 26 right now in North Platte. Winds fairly light, generally out of the west or northwest at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Enough, though, that you factor that in. We have wind chills anywhere from the low teens to the upper 20s to low 30s. Just kind of depends on where you are across the state. Satellite radar picture, again, not a lot to see here. If you look at the visible satellite imagery, you got a good view of the snowpack that's still on the ground across extreme southeastern Nebraska, then across the northeastern parts of Kansas. That's from that snow event that we had back at the beginning of January. Again, I think we should see a good chunk of that melt today and over the at least today and into the day tomorrow before, again, temperatures drop back below freezing as we head into the upcoming weekend into early next week. But again, you can see there's a few clouds there in the northern tier of the state. I think for the most part today, mainly sunny with some high cloud cover kind of drifting through the area as we head through the day today. If we zoom out and look at a regional view, not a whole lot to see here on the satellite radar picture. Again, you can see that cloud deck beginning to kind of push into the northern parts of the state. You zoom out and look at a national view, some snow showers across the Great Lakes and up parts of New England. But other than that, not a whole lot going on in terms of the weather today. We do have some winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings, parts of Ohio, Pennsylvania, into West Virginia with that band of snow showers. But other than that, again, right now things are pretty quiet, although they're across parts of northern Illinois. That's a color that I don't really recognize, and so we're going to click on that to see what exactly that is across northern Illinois. That is, not weather related. That's from police, an Amber Alert that's currently on there in northern Illinois. So I guess that good to know. Also, if you zoom in, take a closer look regionally. Again, some winter weather advisories across parts of Wyoming, some high wind alerts there on those wind-prone areas along I-25 and I-80. Check out Skycast as we head through the day today. Again, expecting maybe some high cloud cover to drift through the region. Otherwise, we should be looking at mainly sunny skies, quiet conditions for us. Tonight into the day on Friday, we will see a cold front begin to approach from the north. I think we start out Friday with mainly sunny skies, again like today with mild temperatures. But then through Friday morning, we're going to see those winds swing around to the north and west. It will become breezy as that front moves on through, and then the cloud cover will increase as well. I think by Friday afternoon, we are looking at partly to mostly cloudy skies across the state. Breezy conditions, temperatures will be falling as that front pushes through. I think for southern Nebraska, we still should have enough time to warm up into the 40s, though, by Friday afternoon. But as we head into Friday evening, that Arctic air arrives, and we'll see those temperatures cool off pretty quickly. Friday afternoon, again, we can see some of those snow showers across parts of Wyoming. Also see some rain on the other side of that air mass down across parts of southern Missouri into northern Arkansas. But again, no moisture expected for us here in Nebraska. Friday into Saturday, again, I think going to continue to see some cloud cover. We'll call it mostly cloudy skies, I think, through a good chunk of the day on Saturday. There's an outside chance we might see a light snow shower passing flurry on Saturday, but I think most areas likely going to stay dry with that frontal passage. We zoom in, take a closer look, statewide view. Again, today it's some high cloud cover. Otherwise, again, it's quiet, nothing really to write home about. And then tonight into the day tomorrow, that front arrives. We see those winds swing around to the north and west. They become breezy. Could be gusting 25 to 35 miles an hour as that front moves through. Clouds increase through the day. I think by Friday afternoon, evening, we're looking at partly to mostly cloudy skies across the state. Dry conditions, though, as that front moves through. And then into the day on Saturday, again, we'll continue to hang on to some of that cloud cover. Maybe an isolated flurry or isolated snow shower across the state, but again, generally dry for us. If you look at the 7-day precipitation potential, this takes us January 16th through January 23rd. Again, we're still looking at basically nothing in terms of the way of any meaningful moisture across much of the 10-11 coverage area. It's not just us. Again, it's folks across parts of Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota, the Dakotas. Really not seeing much in the way of any meaningful moisture over the course of the next week. Does look like we'll see some across the Front Range in Colorado and Wyoming. Could see some snow there as we head over the course of the next week. Also looks like the southeast Gulf states going to be seeing several rounds of moisture as we head over the course of the next 7 days. In terms of snow, again, this is the European model, and again, really nothing meaningful in terms of any snow chances for us across our neck of the woods. We can see some of that snow across again, the mountains in Colorado and Wyoming, but again, nothing here at home. American model does have a system that brings in some snow parts of southeastern Nebraska over the course of the next week. But again, the way things stand right now, I'm not too bullish on that chance. Temperatures, like I said at the very beginning, will be the big story over the course of the next week. Highs today, again, are going to be the warmest. They're going to be for at least the next 10 days, I think. We're looking at mid-40s to mid-50s across the state. Warmest readings will be in the the Sandhills into southwestern Nebraska. Again, Imperial and McCook, upper 50s, maybe close to 60 degrees. Tri-Cities are going to be right around 50 degrees. I think here in Lincoln we'll make a run at that 50-degree mark. Slightly cooler, though, in the southeastern corner of the state where we still have that snowpack that's still on the ground, but again, should melt a good chunk of that, I think, as we head through the day today. Low temperatures tonight stay very mild, upper 20s, low 30s. Again, keep in mind normal lows are in the mid-teens, so we're just about doubling up that number, I think, tonight into early Friday morning. Friday afternoon, it's going to be maybe a little cooler and, again, likely breezy with winds swinging around to the north and west as that front moves through, but still enough time that those temperatures still warm up to the mid to upper 40s for the southern half of the state, but you can start to see cooler weather arriving across the northern tier of the state, temperatures in the low 30s to low 40s for northern and northwestern Nebraska. And then they continue to fall from there as that Arctic air mass settles into the region. Low temperatures Saturday morning, single digits and lower teens, so a little bit closer to normal, if not below average. And then high temperatures on Saturday are certainly below average across the state, mid-teens to low 20s. We'll be feeling even colder than that as we have another breezy day on Saturday, likely seeing wind chills for most of us into the single digits for most of us through the day on Saturday. Sunday morning, bitterly cold, low temperatures between about 10 below and about 5 above. Coldest readings will be across the northwestern corner of the state. In Lincoln, though, a low of around 3 is what we're going to go with on Sunday morning. So if you're up early for church, make sure you're bundled up as you head out the door. Sunday afternoon, it doesn't get much better. Upper single digits to lower to middle teens for high temperatures on Sunday. And again, maybe just a touch on the breezy side that's going to make it feel even colder. Wind chills below 0 and into the single digits, I think, through most of the day on Sunday. Monday morning, around 2 degrees below 0 here in Lincoln, 3 below for the Tri-Cities, around 8 below for North Platte for a low temperature. So again, between about 15 below in the coldest parts of the state in northwestern Nebraska to around 0 for low temperatures into Monday morning. And then Monday afternoon is when our high temperatures at least will bottom out. This will be the coldest I think we will be as we head over the course of the next week to 10 days. Highs ranging from the low single digits to the low teens by Monday afternoon. And again, with at least a little bit of a breeze, it's going to feel an awful lot colder than that for your Monday. So again, bitterly cold conditions through the weekend into early next week. High temperatures at least do begin to moderate then as we head into next Tuesday. We're still below average, but we're climbing into the mid-20s. And then finally a little bit warmer by next Wednesday, mid-upper 30s for temperatures for the capital city. Chances for any moisture over the course of the next week, pretty slim. We're going to throw a 20% on Saturday. Maybe could see an isolated flurry or a passing light snow shower. 10-day forecast for select cities across the state. Again, you can see the mild weather today and tomorrow, the bitterly cold conditions through the weekend into early next week before more mild or conditions return for the second half of the week into the following weekend. Precipitation chances over the course of the next 10 days, again, are pretty slim. Again, Saturday, small chance, 20%. I think most areas likely stay dry, though. Past that, again, no real meaningful chances as we head over the course of the next week to 10 days. 8 to 14-day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. Again, this takes us January 23rd through January 29th. Continues to favor below average temperatures across the region. And then in terms of precipitation, again, no clear signals for much of the state. Does favor above average precipitation, though, for the Panhandle into southwestern Nebraska. But again, like I mentioned, temperatures are going to be the big story for us as we head over the course of the next week to 10 days with some pretty up and down temperatures. But again, still looking for the chances for any moisture across the area and still just really not seeing anything. So still waiting, hoping, keeping our fingers crossed that we see a little bit of a pattern change that will offer us maybe a little bit more active weather. So appreciate everyone for tuning in, watching. Hope everyone enjoys the nice weather today. Again, soak it in as it gets cold again this weekend. So until next time, thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.